Thank you. Okay. Question, does anyone know the Twitter handle for this university? Okay. What is it, like @ISM? No, it's not, is it? Well, forget it. I just tweeted. You're on it. So I have like almost every one of you on my latest tweet. It's an honor to be here. It's the 4th or the 5th time that I'm in Vilnius. And I was here half a year ago driving from Vilnius to Klaipėda with my son, who now is 15. And I just got out of the office of the guys at Startup LT, the Practica, the investment company. And I noticed that a floor above them, there is the Lithuanian head office for Unity. Who knows Unity? And my son is crazy about Unity, so I went up and I said, sorry to bother, but do you have like a trophy I can bring for my son? And I brought him the Unity crew t-shirt. So that is really cool. Well, at least I'm happy to be back again. My name is Oscar Kneppers, and I'm the founder and CEO of Rockstart. I've been traveling to Vilnius and Klaipėda to just share the, let's say, the great inspiration that startups give me every day, and all of us at Rockstart. So we've grown a couple of years, just having an idea with one guy somewhere in an office to now having 40 people supporting 58 startups, 300 people in a house or in a canal house in Amsterdam, and the journey has been great. And I'm here to just share the story about what we do, especially why we do it, and then share with you the stuff that we learn from startups every day. And those are, I put them in the 5 Rockstart mantras. The first mantra is step forward, start. The last mantra is keep up, keep going. And in between there's 3 others, and I will share them with you. But let me go on with the story. Rockstart is all about the love for startups, what they stand for, what they do, what they mean, and let's say the message of hope and promise that they spread, because everyone involved in a startup, either the founders, people working for it, parents, grandfather, grandpeople, the people that, family, whatever, everyone is really excited because it is about starting something from nothing. And if you look at people making and building something from nothing, there's magic going on, and that's what we're really fascinated about, and that's why we love them so much. But first, there's a lot of stuff going on. If you look at this globe, there's a big crisis. There are several crises going on. We need to do a lot of stuff about the environment. We need to make and build a sustainable future. And we need to change the stuff that we did over the last decennia, the last couple of 100 years. So for many people, this is the signal, this is the globe where we can start new business. So 500 million entrepreneurs are building new companies in order to address that for a part. Most of them are not starting and not getting into the game for the money. They are getting into the game because they want to do something and change stuff, even if it's a little tiny thing, but they want to really leave a dent in the universe. So 500 million entrepreneurs growing every day are starting and running new businesses. So I think that is really inspiring. And that's happening because everything is changing. And when I started this company, I figured I can start with the what and the how of the company, and I will share that. But first thing, and I said it this morning when we had the Rockstart Answers, like if you can give one advice to a company, what would it be? And I would say focus on the why. Make sure that you know why you do this, because you can keep going a lot longer if you do it for the why instead of the what or the how. So the why of Rockstart is everything is changing, and you will see it at the last line. So the first 2 is look around you, everything's changing. And the last one is the first Rockstart mantra, step forward, start. And in between, there's this little manifesto.
Look around you. Everything is changing. Companies, countries, structures, how people work. It's all in flux. We love it. Here's why. We're entering exciting times in an exploding entrepreneurial society. You thought corporations, banks, governments were looking after us? Well, they didn't. You want security? Safety? Stop looking around you. Here and now, in yourself, take charge of your own destiny. This incredible time has made entrepreneurship attractive and more available than ever. It leads to endless opportunities for those ready to grasp it. Go on. Luckily, this change forces us to adopt an adventurous spirit, embrace change, love risk, live with uncertainty. We need to jump into the great unknown, look for adventure, seek out our own opportunities. Like the original explorers pioneered their way across seas and continents, we are faced with few compass points. Pioneers choose struggle. We choose a new route as yet uncharted. This is our adventure. We need to be part of it, to drive it, play with it, start it. When do we grow? Failure pushes us forward. Failure forces us to act. We believe in the power of failure. There's nothing wrong with it, so long as it's fully stretched and undeniably complete. What's worse? The feeling that you should have done more. Keep going. Entrepreneurial spirit is focused on you, doing your thing your way. That's why we love startups, all startups. Starting a company makes you a pioneer, a hero in the making. Startups are challengers, innovators, tenacious, risk positive, visionary, driven, strong. We've pioneered our way to where we are today. We're here to give you rock-solid support in the first 1,000 days. We help you grow by pushing you forward. To start and proceed takes courage. It takes guts, madness even. You take a leap of faith and create your space to challenge, make, build, develop, experiment, construct, and thrive. Now that's why we love you. Step forward. Start.
This is the Rockstart why. The why is something that you can always depend on and get back to if you really don't know where to go. And you know, from the outside, many startups look really successful and their website is cool and they wear the t-shirts and they look tanned and successful. But from the inside, they're like burning up because it is really, really something that is really hard. And a manifesto or a big why helps you keep going in the game. Okay, if that is the why, then what is the answer? What is the thing to do? So we thought, let's just make it simple. The big, hairy, audacious goal that we have to build the greatest startup machine ever built. But in normal marketing lingo, it's just build a great place for startups. Something that people are attracted by, want to come to, and work together. So we're building a great place for startups. We started in Amsterdam. We're expanding throughout Europe and other continents. Some later, I'll show you a recent announcement that we did recently. How do we help? So we expand. We try to find startups and people and inspire them to not enter the gates of the corporation, but to start a company. Because you can always find a job afterwards, right? But unless you try to start building a company and to, hey, well, you should do it once at least, all right? Okay. So how do we help? This is what we call the Rockstart wheel or the Rockstart cocktail. This is about, if you ask an entrepreneur what he or she needs, they always have the same answer. We just need money. We know everything. We have a plan. We have a team. We have a vision. We have an ambition. We have a strategy. We know the tactical steps to make. We just need money. Give us your money and we're done. It's not true. It might not be true. It's not always the case. Startups need many things, but above all, they need knowledge, mentorship, a network, a place that they can call their own and which they can work and cooperate together, and a peer structure, because the main strength, the software of what we do is not what we add, but it is the peer structure of all these startups, all these people together. So we have this building in Amsterdam, 300 people, and most conversations end with the question, how can I help? So if everyone has the attitude of wanting to help the other one, you'll have a great ecosystem of people helping each other. So the essence is surround yourself with the best people. This is a quote from one of the Argentinian startups we had in 2012. And he was asked the essence of what we do, and he said, Rockstart is all about surrounding yourself with the best people. And he is one of those people because he sold his company, he was the first exit we had, And he still, although he lives in Brazil or Argentina, I don't remember because he travels around South America, but it is about helping others and surrounding others to build it. So with that help, mentors and the peer-to-peer structure, we built many products. The left 4 of those products are the ones we already did. And the 2 on the right, the Rockstart Campus and the Rockstart Academy, is stuff that we think of doing, we might want to develop, we don't know yet. Because this is to show that Rockstart is not an accelerator. We do acceleration, we have a family of accelerators, but I think in 10 years' time, you don't see many accelerators anymore. In the Netherlands, we now have 2 accelerators. In Israel, there's 120 accelerators for such a small country. Today, accelerators are shit hot. Tomorrow, they might not be. So if the business that we have is about inspiring people to build companies better and faster, today it's an accelerator, tomorrow it could be a university. Why not? So what we're most known for are the accelerators today. The accelerators are like the remnants of the 90s and the zeros. It was like the incubators. The accelerators are like incubation, but then in a short amount of time. It's not about surviving, it's about growing fast, making every mistake that you can make, that you normally make in 3 years, make them in a controlled environment so that the mistakes don't have to be fatal. Because if you can get over these mistakes or these faults that typically everyone makes, then you grow better. And to give you an idea of what it is, a very short video on the accelerator.
This is probably one of the biggest adventures I've ever been on.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
Inspiring.
That's something I'm always really based on people. People's ability to push themselves to the limit and just accomplish even more than they ever would believe they'd be able to do in such a short time.
So that is acceleration. Acceleration is fun. It's fun, it's like a roller coaster, it's super high speed, it's exhausting. But one of our startups from this year who presented at Rockstart Answers this morning, a guy from Lithuania who lives in Klaipėda, he's a company called Packpin, and they were part of our accelerator, and he said this morning, and I didn't brief him, he said, this is probably one of the best experiences in my life. Not as a business, as a businessman, but really in my life. Like it's, you get to see every corner of the room in 3 months' time before you get to demo day. And demo day is what it's all about for the startups, because after demo day they start raising real money. So we invest a little money, and then they start raising real money. And demo day is the moment where they show it to a big place with a lot of VCs, banks, and other people. So up until now, we've reached out to, in the meantime, it's like over 1,400 entrepreneurs with either events, accelerators, spaces, touched as many entrepreneurs, inspire them to quit whatever they do and start a business, or get out of university and start a business. Attracted companies from many different countries, so that makes it it's a super cultural fit, because what we see either in Klaipėda or in Vilnius or in Beijing or in India or in North America, South America, doesn't really matter. Everywhere where you speak about this, startups, it's the same language. Everyone's inspired. So this is not about Rockstart. This is about the, let's say, the promise of liberation, independence, and freedom that everyone kind of recognizes in building a company. Although it's not easy, it is a way. It's like an ultimate direct way to freedom. So does it work? If you look at most of the statistics that are used in Silicon Valley, 8 out of 10 startups fail within 3 years. What we did so far is the 58 companies that we built, helped build, that we were witnessing, 3 of them failed, and the rest is still there, and a couple of them are really doing pretty good. And Packpin, that is the Lithuanian company. There's another one here, I can't find them, but there's another Lithuanian company in this group. So 58 companies from many countries, and we try to find them anywhere. For the 10 spots that the Lithuanian company Pekman was a part of, we had over 700 applications for those 10 spots, so we get them from all around the place. And one of the ways to do it is to reach out to events. So this morning we did Rockstart Answers here in Vilnius. We are expanding into 8 new cities this month alone, 20 new cities this summer. And Rockstart Answers is just growing in order to let people know what we do, why we do it, and attract them in the program. I'm almost done with this promo, but this is just about getting the idea of what it is that we do. If this is the infantry, so going over the ground, like the troops on the ground, reaching out in Europe, then the other group is building the hubs. And the hubs are, we just opened one on the right side of this map. We're looking for a partner in South America. To give you an idea what our next step is in September, and kicking off in January is this one. So it's exciting. Rockstart Singapore, it's a hub like Amsterdam, hub we're building also in South America. It's to reach out to as many entrepreneurs as we can. So, and if you would, let's say if one of you would apply for the Web Mobile Accelerator, you might end up in Singapore, because Singapore has a huge, obviously, Southeast Asian market is a huge mobile market. So if we think we have better mentors, better market access in Singapore and Southeast Asia, we'd probably advise you to go to Singapore. And now we're able to do that there as well. Okay, enough about Rockstart. What we learn from startups every day, we put in these 5 Rockstart mantras. The first one is obvious, right? The first one is, where I'm standing here now is a little less comfortable than where you are sitting. And I guess that stepping forward and starting is all about getting out of your comfort zone. Stepping forward and start is the only thing you have to do to build a business, is about making the first step and committing in public that to what it is that you're doing, what your plan is. It's not about writing a business plan. It's not about raising money, which you don't in most cases in the beginning. It's about committing to what you're building and share that vision, that dream, or that plan with others just by stepping forward and starting. So stepping forward, start, it's this. If I would have to plot everything that we do into one slide, this is the one. Getting out of your comfort zone is really getting into this field, into this ocean of possibilities, a state of abundance where the magic really happens. So, and you know that, right? If you get out of your comfort zone, even on a private level, if you get out of it, you feel really kind of threatened and thrilled, but it's where the magic happens. And this is what it looks like, because getting out of your comfort zone, this guy on the left, his name is Brian Garrett. He had a great job at a 3D printing company, and he had this idea that this is stupid. We're creating 3D models that can be done everywhere in the world. We do it in one place. We put them in a car. We transport them to the other side of the city or the other side of the ocean, and it's stupid. So he figured we needed to have something else. So he applied for the Rockstart Accelerator, and this was during selection days. So this is definitely not a comfort zone, because you don't know what's happening after your pitch. But he decided there and then, he told me afterwards, and he got selected. But before he got selected, he told us, at that moment, I decided to quit my job because I knew I had to do this, whether I would make it or not. Eventually, he made it. He started building a company. It's called 3D Hubs, and they raised $4.5 million in follow-on funding in their first round of funding. And this is an article that appeared last year, almost a year ago. And they now have 20,000 hubs in the world, an office in New York, 45 people, still at Rockstart. That's the fun thing. It grew from 2 to 45, and they're a truly global company. And they just didn't think of the limits that they had. They just thought of this vision to spread out the idea of distributed production. The second one is team up. And I'm kind of, I started all my companies alone in the first place. And what I know is that alone is really, it's alone, right? If you stand here and you see all those corners of the room, you don't see what's happening behind you. So it's kind of a great idea to team up with someone else who's covering your back and who's looking at the other side of the... do you want to take a seat? Yeah, you're in the middle. You can sit if you want. Yeah, go ahead. So team up and do it. That's something that we advise. I see a team member here of a team that was this morning with the 3 of them. Anyway, team up, do it. A very good friend of mine is the main inventor of Facebook and Twitter and Booking and TomTom and, well, you name it. He's got his name on it. The only thing is he never stopped talking. He just kept talking. He never stopped. Because what we say is you have to stop talking and start building. Everyone here in the room knows someone who always talks about these ideas and just doesn't do it. Whether it's private, it's business, doesn't really matter. It's about stop talking, start building. Mantra number 3, this is really a big one. Stop talking, start building, and then show it. And I'll show you a little video of what happens if you show it and what it feels like at demo day in a room of, like, I guess it's 3 times the size of the number of people in this room. It's all bankers, business angels, and VCs, and show what you have. Demo day.
Good morning. It's demo day. Today's the day that all the startups have been working hard towards for the last couple of days. They've been talking to customers, building their product, finishing the pitch, and they're all ready to get on stage.
3 minutes? Yeah.
It's a combination of nerves, excitement, and business.
There's some people coming from far away to talk. I know there's some people coming from Japan. There's people coming from all over the world to listen to us today.
Welcome to Rockstart Accelerator January 2014.
From everyone here today, who has ever tried to learn a musical instrument? Put your hands up here.
This blindfold prevents me from seeing my audience. Excuse me. 600,000 users already and counting. The clock is ticking. We're looking forward to speaking to you.
I think it was great. Like, all the pitches were insane. Very, very good.
And I was very impressed with each and every one of the people presenting their ventures. It's great. Very, very inspiring.
And it's the start. So everyone thinks that this is the end, but this is just the start. The first step we make forward.
Step forward, start. So mantra number 4 is all about learning and being able to adapt and to change everything. So the word I didn't know before I started this company was pivot. And pivot is just change it all. Change the model, change the approach, change the market, change the team, change anything that you need to change. So learn, pivot, and then start over. And it doesn't feel easy, and it is definitely getting out of your comfort zone. But starting over is really the main thing. Being able to start over again and to kill your darlings, leave it all behind. And then the only thing you need to do, and that's mantra number 5, and it's one of my favorites, it's just keep up. keep up, keep up. It's a real mantra, right? If you really feel in a bad place, it's just like keeping up and keep repeating the mantra. Keep up and keep going. And to close this presentation with like a very inspiring entrepreneur that I've seen having, might have had the best quotes I've ever heard on entrepreneurship. He's not the typical entrepreneur, but listen to what he says, and it's kind of the stuff that this is made of. And this is one of the quotes: I had to learn new stuff, I had to keep going, and I had to risk myself. Tony Hawk.
Pressure has certainly made me perform better. The only way to get recognized was through competition. A lot of people will reach the top of their rank, and then they just cruise. I had to learn new stuff. I had to keep going. I had to risk myself. That's why I started trying 900s. To me, that was the holy grail. A 900 is a skateboard trick. It's basically a 2.5 spin in the air. The X Games came around in 1999, and they had a best trick event. 20 minutes on the ramp, do your best trick. While I was doing it, I didn't care if it counted. I didn't care if there were no people there. I was either going to make that thing or I was going to get taken out in 9 minutes. I think that's what separates the people who succeed and people who don't. Those who can really do it when it absolutely counts and pull it out when it seems like all odds are against you. I didn't believe I had made it until I saw everyone rushing. That's when I realized it's not competition, it's time-based. Just make it happen. You kind of force it. Sometimes you get hurt, but that's the best way to get hurt.
Let me repeat the last quote: is sometimes you get hurt, but it's the best way to get hurt. Thank you for your attention. See you later. Get inspired by the next speaker.